Hello, students. Welcome to lesson 5 of our distance learning. This is unit 11, and it's IXL assignment S5, which is area and perimeter in the coordinate plane. So there's really just three figures here. There's the area of a square, the area of a rectangle, and the area of a triangle, and then the perimeter of all three of those as well. So the formulas we're going to need, perimeter formula. Remember, perimeter is add all sides. So if it's a square, rectangle, or triangle, the square and rectangle will have 4 sides, and then the triangle will have 3. Okay, the other formulas that we have, you have your area of a square, which is base times height. You have the area of a rectangle, which is also, which is also base times height. Let's see, rectangle. Let's try that again. So the area of a rectangle is base times height. You also have the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. The only other formula you're going to need for this lesson is going to be the Pythagorean theorem, because you might need to use it to find the third side of your triangle. Okay, and this is only going to happen with perimeter. So Pythagorean theorem. Remember, the Pythagorean theorem is L squared plus L squared equals H squared. So the sum of the legs squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. Okay, so in this first one, let's find the area. It says find the area of the square. So we're just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like it goes from -5 to 5. 5 units. Oh, sorry, 10 units. And because it's a square, it's also going to go down 10 units. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so we have 10 units this way. So the area is going to be base times height. So area is going to be 10 units times 10 units. So area will be equal to 100 units squared. And that's it for that square. All right. Okay, the area of a triangle. Well, this one we're going to need to know that length, which is 3 units. Excuse me. There's your right angle. So we have to know this side as well. So I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like it's 11. This side is 11 units. It goes from 3 to -8, and so those are 11 apart. So the area of my triangle, is 1/2 base times height. So it's going to be 1/2 of 3 units times 11 units. So area is 1/2 of 33 units squared. So 3 times 11, yep, divided by 2 is 16.5 units squared. All right, 16.5. There we are. So now let's find the perimeter. I pretty much just did one of each problem. So here's a perimeter. So we are going to, this is of a square. So they're all going to be the same length. But let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I just want to double check, make sure I did it right. So 8, let's do 8 units. And it looks like, looks like that's 8 units. Looks like that's 8 units. Okay, so the perimeter is going to be equal to 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 units. 8, 16, 32. Not squared because it's a distance. All right, so 30, the perimeter is 32 units for that one. All right, the next one, we're going to have to do Pythagorean theorem. So first thing I'm going to do is start with the length of a side. So it looks like it goes from 8 to -4, so that's 12. So it's 4, 8, 12 units. And it looks like it's going to be from -6 to 10, so it's 16, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, so 16 units. And now I need to find this side right here. I can call it X if I want to, or H. I can leave it hypotenuse, whatever I want to. I'm going to do, let's see, leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So 16 squared plus 12 squared equals h squared. So 16 squared is 256, and 12 squared is 144. And together, 144 plus 256 equals 400. So the square root of 400 is equal to the square root of h squared. So these go away. And so h is equal to the square root of 400, which is 20 units. So this equals 20 units. So remember, it's on a diagonal, so I had to do that work. So perimeter equals 20 plus 16 plus 12 units. So 20 plus 16 plus 12 is 48 units. There we are. So 48 units. All right. Sometimes it might ask you for both, so you don't want to get them confused. Yeah, this one. So this isn't going to ask us for both. So this side, if we do some work, let's see, whoops. Looks like it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. It goes from -6 to 3. It also goes from -7 to 2, so that's 9 because this appears to be a square. So it's 9 units. Oops. There we go. If I duplicate, that's a little bit easier. Okay, so 9, 9, 9, and 9. So 9 times, so area is going to be base times height. Area is base times height. So area equals 9 units times 9 units. So area equals 81 units squared. And perimeter is going to be 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 units. So 9, 18, 27, 36 units. We are done. So 36 and 81. One is squared units, one are regular units. I think I looked to find a triangle one, but I couldn't find a triangle one. But you know what? It's okay. So we're going to go through the same process. So this one is a length of 4 units. And so, whoops, the formulas are the same, so I'm going to copy and paste them. They're just changing because I am using different numbers. Whoops. All right, so I'm actually using, I'm actually going to use the number 4 instead of 9. So here I have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and here I have 4 units times 4 units. So 4 times 4 is 16 units squared, and then 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, 4, 8, 12, is actually 16 units. These are different. One is linear, one is squared, but they're both the number 16. Okay, square units, meaning the amount of blocks, like this, check, like if I were to check this off, check, 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 and so on, versus the length, which would be if I counted 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and so on. Okay, last one, there's a couple here. This one's a little bit longer. So find the area and perimeter of the rectangle ABCD. The best thing to do is make a little graph of this so you can see what's going on. You can find the distance between all of these, and that's fine to do, but let me see if I can change this paper over to a graphing paper. Is that going to make all of them graphing? Ooh, I didn't know that. I don't want that. Okay. Let's see. What can I do? Paper. I want it to be regular. View. Can I insert maybe a graph? Okay, well, let's do the area. Let's do this, I guess, by hand then. So well, I mean, we can sketch a graph here. Let's take a look. What does it look like? All right. So let's do a sketch. Here we have -8, 1 for A. For B, we have -2, 1. And then C, we have -2, -7. And then D, we have -8, -7. So this gives us just kind of like a sketch and an idea of what's going on. Okay. You know what? Maybe I can. No, I'll leave it in what appears to be a sketch. Now, how far apart are -2 and -8? Well, they appear to be 6 units apart. So I can just label this 6 units. And this is also 6 units, right? And then how far apart are my y-coordinates? Well, y-coordinates are -7 and 1, so that's 8 units. This one is 8 units as well. So I'm just looking at my x's and y's and just seeing how far apart they are from one another. So the area is going to be base times height. So area is going to be 6 units times 8 units. So 6 times 8 is 48 units squared. Okay, so this is 48 units squared. And now perimeter is going to be 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 units. So perimeter is 6 plus 8, well, 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 is 28 units. And there we are, 28 units. Again, quick graph. You can use the distance formula. I don't recommend that, so I'm probably not going to show you on this. We'll just stick with the sketch and counting. Okay. Now in this one, this one is a perimeter and area problem, but one is perimeter, one is area. So the first one we'll do is this perimeter one. So let me sketch out a graph. So it's going to have 3 points on it. Whoa. That was weird. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know where that graph went. So we have -8, 6. So -8, +6 is like right about there. So C is -8, 6. D is 1, 6. So D is 1, 1, 6. And then E is -8, -6. So -8, -6, which is down here. So if I sketch this out real quick, I'm going to leave it looking kind of like a sketch. I'm not going to make it perfect. That's your right angle. And so these are all going to be set up so that you have a right angle somewhere. Okay. It's not going to, it's not too complicated where they make a triangle that won't have a right angle that you can't easily calculate. Okay. So to find the perimeter here, I need to know 3 things. I need to know how far apart these two are. So how far apart is -8 to 1 in terms of x's? Well, they are 9 units apart from one another. right? -8 all the way over to 1 is 9 units. And then now look at your -8 to -8. C here, C to E, it's really 6 to -6, which is 12 units. And I'm almost done. What I need to do is I need to find this number right there. So I'm going to do leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So 12 squared plus 9 squared equals h squared. 144 plus 81 equals h squared. 225 equals h squared. The square root of 225 equals the square root of h squared. So square root of 225 is 15. Yep, 15 equals h. So this now equals 15 units. So perimeter equals 9 plus 12 equals 9 plus 12 plus 15 units. So 9 and 12 and 15 is 36 units. We just had to do the Pythagorean theorem for that. Okay, and I will leave that theorem in purple. There we go. All right, let me throw these in boxes as well, and then we have one last one, and we'll call it a day. And you can do your IXL practice problems. Okay. All right, whoops. So it looks like we have one last one. I'm going to just copy this and see what I can use from it. Probably can't do much with it. Let me organize this a little bit. Okay. We have, I'm going to erase these parts. I really just wanted my lines. I don't know why I did all of that. Okay. So now I have this triangle. So I'm going to use, what did I use? Green? Okay. So we're going to go to -6 to -2, which is about right there. You know what? Maybe it's a little bit further down. There we go. -6, -2. And then we have 1, -6. So 1, -6. So that's going to be right in line. There's my, oh, I'm sorry. -6, -2. 1, -6 is not in line. It's actually right about here. And then C is -6, -6, which is going to be like right there. So let me rearrange this. So that's good. 1, -2. Okay, not good enough. So I'm going to sketch out a graph of this. Whoops, I forgot I was sketching. And there we go. Okay, so we need to find the area. So what we're going to do, we don't need to find the length of the hypotenuse like we did here. We just need to know how far apart these are. Here's where my right angle is. So -2 to -6 is 4 units. And -6 to 1 is 7 units. Right, they're 7 apart, and those are 4 apart. So area is base times height. So area is 4 units times 7 units. So area equals 28 units squared. Just above, I used blue, so I'll use blue. And that's it. So 28 units squared. Okay, there you go. So that is the end of probably one of your longer ones, area and perimeter in the coordinate plane. Okay, so make sure you do all your IXL assignments for S5 after watching this video. All right, good luck.